Okay, so mga greetings po everyone. I'm Bautista Lawrence Jr. C. And I'm the leader of this group. So let I'm with my group mates, Aquino Justin Lamberto L, Balbero Lee Rafi Angelo O, then Bukid Abraham Christopher M, and lastly Mr. Kapoy Andre C. So we are tasked to have a to do this one. Mm. To do a small training center needs a simple web application to manage student enrollment in short courses. Since the system is only for classroom laboratory use, it will not use a database and will instead rely on PHP sessions for temporary storage. So for this project, we have to create a course class, student class, enrollment class. And for my part, I will discuss the student part, both classes and the CRUD part. So we have the class student, and it has the public attributes, student name, and student ID. And of course, we have constructor, public function, um, construct student name, student ID. Then this student name equals to student name that came from parameter of constructor. Then this student ID equals to student ID that came from the constructor of student. So that will be all from the class student. And let me discuss the process or CRUD of the student. So we have the process.php here. For this file to start, we have to declare the required ones, classes, which is the folder, and student.php. So for our student, we have edit student equals to null variable and edit index equals to null. Then for students. Then if there's no session yet for our student, then we will create the condition if is set session students um, in not operator, then it will create an array, which is session students equals to new array. Then for our CRUD part, let's start first with create or add. And if is set $ post add student, student name equals stream to remove the excess white space from end and start. Student name, it will find the student name in our forms in our index. Then student ID equals to stream $ post, then student ID. Then for our checking validation for our student ID is duplicate equals to boolean false. Then first it will we will use for each loop for validation session student as existing. If existing student ID equals to student ID that the user enter to the text field, then if it's true, then our variable is duplicate will turn to true. Then it will break the system. Then if it's false, it will automatically execute and it will go to another condition. If student name and student ID equals to null or if the user did not enter anything in the text field, then the error will be all fields are required. Then else if the student ID is not numeric or the student ID is less than 0 or equals to 0, then the error will be please enter a valid student ID. Then if the duplicate here turns to true, then the error will be student ID already exists. Please enter a next student ID. Then else, then if any of these conditions turns out to be false, then it will create then it will create a new student and it will add to the our session, which is our local storage. Just like this, it will create another object of student, new student, student name, student ID. Then for our location, after executing the part, it will go to itself, which is the student index.php. Then it will exit. Then for our delete part, it's just easy. Then it will find the index of the delete student. Then if it set session student index, then it will unset or destroy the session. Then it will update the session that we have since we already delete the one student. So it will automatically update by this syntax. Then after executing that, it will head again to our index.php since we don't have multiple pages. Then for our student, just like delete student, it will get the index of the student. Then um, if the user click or choose a student, it will return the index. Then the edit student that we have here at the top, it will it will be assigned to the um, it will be assigned to the student that is clicked by the user. So after clicking that, it will create another form for our markup. Then it will have the form that we have. Then the user is required to um, enter a new name or new student ID since it will update. So just like add, we have our condition here. It will get the index, it will get the student name, it will get the student ID. Then condition again, if the student name and student ID is null or the user did not enter anything, then error B, all fields are required. Then if the student ID is not numeric or the student ID is equals to or less than 0, then the error will be please enter a valid student ID. Then any of these condition turns out to be false, then it will update the to update the the student that is chosen by the user. Then it will update the both student name and student ID, and it will head again to index.php since we don't have any multiple pages. Then let's go to our course class.
Tangal greetings everyone, tangal greetings Sir Janus. I'm Andre Sigapoy and I will be the one to discuss the course.php and the add and validation of the crude logic of it. So first, under the course.php class, we have a public course name and public course fee. So under those two, we created a constructor that has a parameter of course name and course fee, which is declared above of it. And under the inside this constructor contains this course name refers to the course name above, and course fee equals course fee, which is also above of it. So next, let's proceed to the crude logic of the course. So part one is the add course. So this input capture and cleaning, and it processes begins by detecting if the form was submitted through the add course button. So we retrieve the course name and the course fee from the post request, and we apply the trim function to these variables. And this is a best practice that cleans the data by removing any accidental spaces at the start or end of the text, while ensuring our records remain consistent and professional. So next is the duplicate prevent logic. So this specific requirement of the system is to prevent the same course from being entered twice. So before the data is saved, we will set a temporary flag called isDuplicate to false. So after that, we'll then use a for each loop to look through every course currently stored in the session. And by applying start to lower to both the existing names and the new input, we will create a case-sensitive check, which means the system will recognize that PHP and PHP are the same course, effectively blocking redundant entries. So next is the part where it is multi-layered validation. To meet the project requirements and pass the specific test cases for data integrity, we implemented a conditional logic block. So first, this checks if any fields are empty to prevent blank submissions. So next it uses the isNumeric function and a comparison operator to ensure the fee is a valid number and not a negative value. So after that, it finally checks the duplicate flag. So if any of these checks fail, an error message is generated and the process stops. Last is the OOP storage and redirection. So this, if the data is valid, we move the object-oriented implementation instead of just saving the text. So we created a new instance of our course class. So this turns the raw data into a formal object. So we then add this object to the courses array with the PHP session, which demonstrates encapsulation because all of the course data is now bundled together. So to finish this, a header redirect sends the user back to the main page to see the updated list, which also clears the form to prevent accidental resubmissions.
Greetings, Sir Janus. I'm Abraham Christopher M. Bukid. So now, let's proceed to the next part of the code, which handles the delete and update course using PHP session. So, um, in the delete course, the purpose of this part is to remove a selected course from the session data. The if statement is used for decision making. The isset get delete course checks if a delete request is passed in the URL. This ensures this this ensures the code only runs when the delete action is triggered. The $sign underscore get is a super global variable used to retrieve data from the URL. It gets the course index which identifies which item to delete. The $sign index variable stores that value for reuse. And next is the isset session courses index. It checks if the course exists in the session array. This prevents errors like accessing an undefined index. The $sign underscore session is a super global variable used to store data across different pages. And the unset method is used to remove the specific course from the array. Then after the deletion, array values method is used to reindex the array. Its purpose to the purpose of it is to um, reset the numbering so there are no missing indexes, which helps keep the table display clean. The header location index PHP is used to redirect the user back to the main page. Its purpose is to refresh the content and prevent duplicate actions. Then exit is used to stop the script immediately after redirection to avoid further code execution. Then let's proceed to the update course. So this part, modify an existing course details. Again, the if statement controls execution. Is set post update course checks if the update has been submitted. The $sign underscore post is a super global variable used to collect data from form inputs. The index, course name, and course fee variables store the submitted values. And next is the trim method. It is used to remove unnecessary spaces. Again, the if statement controls execution. Is set post update course checks if the update form has been submitted. The post is super global variable used to collect data from the inputs. The index, course name, and course fee, those are the variables store the submitted values. Next is the trim method. So the trim method is used to remove unnecessary spaces from the user input. It helps maintain the data clean. The validation condition uses um, not equal to ensure the course name is not empty. And the is numeric method used to check if the fee is a number. And the course fee greater than or equal to 0 ensures that the value is not negative. These validations ensure data accuracy and prevent invalid inputs. If all conditions are true, the system updates the course directly in the session. The session courses index course name. It accesses the object property and updates the course name. The okay, um, the arrow sign is used to access or modify object properties in the PHP. The same process is applied to update the course fee. And finally, we're proceeding to the header location. Again, it is um, it refreshes the if It refreshes the page to display the updated course list and exits stops further execution. So, in summary, part 2 focuses on safety deleting a course and maintaining a clean array structure, while part 3 focuses on updating the course data with proper validation and object manipulation.
Greetings, I'm Justin Elokino. So we'll talk about the class enrollment class. So we use the public. Greetings, I'm Justin Elokino. So this is the enrollment class. So the we get the attributes public student and the public course. Tapos then the constructor is a special method that runs automatically when you create a new enrollment object using the new keyword. It accepts student and course object and assigns them to the class private properties. You can see them separate in the create method. Next po. Now talking about the create method, adding a new enrollment. This is a static method, meaning you can call it directly on the class itself without needing an existing object. Now, the step by step is to validate the student ID. It checks that the student ID is a number greater than 0. If the check fails, it immediately returns an error message and stops. Next is it loops through all existing enrollment and uses the getter get student to safely compare IDs. If a match is found, it returns an error. No duplicates ID are allowed. Then next, if all validation pass, it creates a student and course object, passes them into the constructor via new enrollment, and stores the result in the session. Returning the null means success and no error occurred. Then the read all method. This simple static method returns the full list of stored enrollment records from the session. If the session array doesn't exist, yet it returns an empty array instead of causing an error. Whenever the page needs to display the enrollment table, it calls the enrollment read all method to calls and loops through the return array using the getter on each object to display the student course and details. Next po.
Well, greetings everyone. I'm Balbero Lee Rafi Angelo. So let me explain how that the update function works in our enrollment system. So the function starts by receiving multiple inputs: the index of the record, the student's name, the student ID, course name, and course fee. So the index tells the system exactly which record we want to update. First, the system checks if the record actually exists using the given index. If it does not exist, the function immediately returns an error message saying enrollment record not found. So this prevents the system from updating a non-existent record. Next, the system validates the student ID. It checks whether the ID is numeric and greater than 0. If the input is invalid, it returns the message, please enter a valid student ID. So this ensures that only correct data is accepted. So after validation, the system checks for duplicate student IDs. It loops through all existing records and compares each student ID with the new one. However, it skips the current record being updated to avoid false duplicates. So if another record is found with the same student ID, the function returns an error message saying student ID already exists. So this guarantee that each student ID remains unique. So if all check pass, the system creates new student and course object using the updated information. It also trims unnecessary spaces, ensures that student ID is stored as a number. So finally, the system updates the selected record by replacing the old student and course data using setter method. Now, let's move to the delete function. So this function takes one parameter, which is the index of the record we want to delete. So first, the system checks if the record exists at that index. If it does not exist, it returns the message enrollment record not found. So this prevents error when trying to delete something that isn't there. So if the record exists, the system uses a function called onset to remove that specific record from the session array. However, deleting a record can leave gaps in the array indexes. For example, if one record is removed, the numbering might skip a value. So to fix this, the system uses array values to reindex the array. So this rearrange the indexes so they remain continuous and organized. And lastly, the function returns null, which means the deletion process was successful. And that's all for the update and delete function.
Okay, let me discuss the markup really fast. So for our markup for our index.php, we have here at the top, which is really require. We have PHP require once process PHP that inside of it is all the logic that we have for our forms and for our website. Then to start, we have our styling here. Then we have add student form, which requires the user to enter the name and the student ID. Then if empty, it will show all the error that we discussed earlier. Then if it's not error, then it will create another table based on the user input. All the user input of the student will go here. Then for our in the edit student, this will only show if the user click the edit button. Then it will require the user again to input the name and the student ID. Then it will have a button which is update. And for our course, just like our student form, it has the it requires the user to input, but our course requires course name and course fee. Then if there's no error or if all inputs are valid, and it will create another table or it will create another row. It will contain all the course name and course fee. And this edit course will show only if the user click the edit button from our course. Then for our enrollment, it will it will look like this. Instead of forms, it will show the user drop down list that contains all the student and course that the user entered before proceeding to the enrollment. It will look like this, and without any invalid input, it will create another row for our table showing all the student names, student ID, course name, course fee that is selected by our user. Then this edit enrollment, again, it will show only if the user click the edit button. So what will be the interface? What will be the interface for this website? It will look like this. So let me demo. So for our test case, let's add Anna, Anna with student ID, uh, 101. Then add course fee, then Java, then with a fee of 1,500. Then since we have two names, Eugene Salazar with student ID 140 and Anna 101, PHP with course fee of 100, Java then 1,500. Then all the data here will return here in our dot down list. Select student, which is I will choose Anna. Then select course, which is PHP. So by this logic, I will enroll Anna with ID of 101 to the PHP with a course fee of 100. Then I will enroll. Then just like this, it will enroll Anna to the course PHP with a course fee of 100. Then let me try to delete one of the records. I will delete this Anna for our enrollment list. Delete. Then it will show, are you sure you want to delete the enrollment? Then I would click OK. Then it will entirely change our table from none. So that would be our laboratory quiz one. I hope you guys understand anything. I hope we explain it really clearly. So thank you very much for listening.